It's March 29th, 1987, and my mom is taking me to Pontiac, Michigan to see WrestleMania III, the biggest extravaganza in sports entertainment to that date. I'll never forget the excitement that I had on the drive there, knowing I was going to see the most anticipated match of that time and the most talked about match of all time, Hogan versus Andre. Would Hogan actually slam the Giant? Well, unless you've been living under a shell all of these years, you know that Hogan did indeed slam the Giant. And let me tell you, it was so loud in there, my ears rang for days, just from the cheers and applause. I'll never forget what it smelled like in there, what it sounded like. Granted, we were at the very, very top, and we had to basically watch the big screens to see the wrestlers, but the wrestlers looked like little ants coming down the ring and in the ring because of how far back we were and how far up we were. There was just so many people there. There was just people everywhere, standing, sitting, everywhere, people everywhere. Let me tell you, there were 93,000 plus people there. I can vouch because I was there.
93,173 fans came to see it. At the time, it was the largest indoor crowd ever in North America.
Line of humanity headed for WrestleMania III. They came to Pontiac from around the nation to root for their heroes. What do you like most about wrestling?
The Hulk. The slams.
Is the Hulk going to win today?
You know it.
The 90,000 plus crowd was orderly for the most part. Satellite communication dishes beamed the wrestling extravaganza to tens of millions around the world.
There was only one WrestleMania 3. This was, in my opinion, the best WrestleMania ever. I did take my son to WrestleMania 23 20 years later up at Ford Field in Detroit, and that was an awesome experience also, but nothing beats WrestleMania 3. We were basically sitting right here where this picture was taken, but on the other side. So that was our view right there. Billy Jack Haynes, Hercules, that was a great match. I know Billy Jack Haynes got in some trouble. He's in jail, I believe. Look that up online. This was a view from the floor. Those big screens are what we had to watch because we were up at the very top. The Hart Foundation British Bulldogs match was phenomenal. Just four great athletes, two great tag teams. The Hillbilly Jim match against King Kong Bundy with the little people partners that they had. That was hilarious. Great match. Junkyard Dog Harley Race. I've always loved Junkyard Dog. That was one of my favorite matches there, of course, along with Jake the Snake Roberts with Alice Cooper, one of my favorite artists. Alice Cooper got the snake out at the end of the match, and they were all terrified. Just a terrific card. 12 matches in total. There was Roddy Piper, of course, who was one of the best microphone workers in the business, against Adrian Adonis. Adrian Adonis had passed away in a car accident not too long after WrestleMania 3. Keith Frankie was his name, so rest in peace, Keith Frankie. Then, of course, the Macho Man and Dragon match. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Macho Man. This was probably the best match in professional wrestling. I know I found out after the fact that they had rehearsed step by step by step every single move. They had practiced and rehearsed this entire match for months leading up to WrestleMania 3, and you can tell because Savage was a perfectionist. That was the best match in history. Again, just 93,000 people, not an empty seat in the house. This was the program, which I do have somewhere. I know it's got a piece of masking tape on it, but I'll have to dig that out. Just a great experience.
You got 93,173 fans standing on their feet for this one, Gorilla.
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
Look at the size of the Giant. I mean, Hogan is 6'8".
Andre is 7'5".
Andre was not doing very well at this time. His gigantism was really affecting him. His back was really bad. So he really did a great thing for the business that night by putting Hogan over.
Hulkster unloading going for a slam. Oh, he almost got him up. Oh, he collapsed. 1, 2. Look at this. He's I don't believe it. Oh, dropping a big leg. Over for the cover. He got it.
The ending of WrestleMania 3 was just absolutely amazing. The crowd was on their feet. Everybody went nuts. Hogan stood in the ring and posed for about 20 to 25 minutes before he rode that little makeshift wrestling ring back out of the arena. So, this is not the only part of this story. The other part of this story is the iconic building where this event was held, and that was the Pontiac Silverdome. The Pontiac Silverdome opened in 1975, and it sat on 199 acres of land. The actual stadium had a fiberglass fabric roof that was held up by air pressure, so it was not an actual sealed roof. It was a collapsible roof, basically, that was held up by air pressure. Over the years, the Pontiac Silverdome hosted many, many events like Led Zeppelin, Mass with the Pope, of course WrestleMania 3, the Detroit Pistons, and the Detroit Lions also called this their home court and field. Over the years, that roof caused many, many problems for the building. Heavy snow caused it to collapse, and it was repaired, and then other elements caused it to collapse again. So here in 2025, what does it look like now? Well, it's not there anymore. The last freestanding wall of the Silverdome was destroyed by the end of March 2018. Here we are, 1200 Featherstone Road in Pontiac, Michigan. 1987 was the last time I was here on this property for WrestleMania 3. We set an indoor attendance record of 93,000 plus people. This is the former site of the Pontiac Silverdome, where WrestleMania 3 was held and where the Detroit Lions played. Now it's just a giant Amazon hub. Huge property. This is the site, WrestleMania 3. The only thing missing is the Pontiac Silverdome.